Fourth video in our 7-part series. I am Zachary Divelbiss. I'm a criminal defense attorney here to go over what we believe are the 7 most important tips for dealing with the police, something that you never know might happen to you, so you should be prepared for this. Starting off, an encounter with law enforcement is stressful and even frightening experience for most people. The following guidelines will help you in your dealings with law enforcement in most situations. And if the encounter evolves into an arrest, please contact an experienced criminal defense firm as soon as possible to discuss your situation. If any of this happens to you and you are arrested or you come into contact with the police, give us a call. That way we can have a free consultation with you. Okay, number 4 here, very important, something that a lot of people forget or don't know, is to be assertive. Be assertive, I want to clarify, does not mean to be aggressive. It means to be clear and concise with what you are saying. So, most people become extremely nervous around law enforcement officers, and they are uncomfortable invoking their legal rights. However, if you do not assert your rights, you may effectively waive or surrender those rights and lose the protections afforded to you by the Constitution. Police officers are trained to coax citizens into abandoning these constitutional protections, and a good rule of thumb is to follow police orders, but if they ask you to do anything, to deny that. Very important here, the 4th rule of thumb is to be assertive. This is extremely important. Myself, I've been arrested half a dozen times, and sometimes even I would forget this even though I knew it. Sometimes I would think, well, I just want to be polite to the police, so I'm just going to answer their questions and do what they want. This is the wrong thing to do. That's what the police are trained to get you to do. The police want you to have a conversation with them. The police want you to think that you are their friends, and then you're going to get yourself into trouble. So you must be assertive in saying your rights. We are going to get into the specific rights in those situations in the future videos. But ultimately, if you are saying that you want to remain silent, then you must clearly say that. You must clearly say, "Officer, I wish to remain silent. Officer, I don't want to do anything until I have a lawyer." And when you say those things, you must actually do them. You must actually stop talking once you say that you want to remain silent. And once you say that you want a lawyer, then you sit there and do nothing until a lawyer is present. Okay? This is very important. You don't actually have to have a lawyer show up there at that moment, but you must be clear in this. You cannot say something along the lines of, "Officer, should I have a lawyer? Officer, I think I want to remain silent." If that happens, the police have no barrier against your constitutional rights at that point because you were unclear. So you must be assertive in your rights that we're going to get into in the next videos, and it must be clear. This is very important. These are your legal rights. This does not mean that the police can punish you because you invoked them. This does not mean you're being uncompliant. You are simply being clear with your request to remain silent, or clear with your request to not consent to a search, or clear with your request that you want a lawyer present. Very important rule of thumb here is if the police are asking you questions, you should not be answering them and invoking these rights in a clear manner. Please stick around for some of our upcoming videos that will go into these specific requests that you should be making. And if anything like this is happening to you, please feel free to give us a call for a free consultation.